Hi, I'm Tae Kang with Harbor Freight Tools for Schools, and I'm excited to talk to you today about creating a welcoming environment for your skilled trades program. Excellent skilled trades education has the power to change lives inside and outside the classroom. Over the past 6 years of operating the Harbor Freight Tools for Schools Prize for Teaching Excellence, we have been remarkably impressed by all the work teachers do to make their students feel at home in their classrooms, to create spaces where students feel welcomed, safe, engaged, and ready to thrive. I'm honored to introduce an inspirational school CTE director who will share with you a framework that will get you thinking about this important aspect of your teaching.
My name's Kim Hurd. I am the Career and Technical Education Director for the Enumclaw School District. We are a one high school district. We have about 1,300 students here, and we're about 30 miles south of Seattle, right at the base of Mount Rainier. We were working with a consultant, Dr. Tammy Campbell, and her organization, Scholars First Incorporated, which is really designed to help schools and systems think through issues of equity within their system. And the 4Bs really connected to us on that level. What do we want every kid to have? No matter who, where the kid comes from, how long they've been with us, wherever, what should they get when they walk into our school? The 4Bs are belief, belonging, broadcasting your voice, and removing barriers. The 4Bs, especially coming back, gave teachers kind of a place to sit and focus when they're thinking about what is essential in this classroom. They came back, there's a million things going on, they're working with students that have been remote, they're doing all these things, and it helped just focus on these are the essential pieces. My classroom has to have these things, and focus there as they worked through the process of getting kids re-engaged back into school. In a skilled trades classroom, belief is very important because we are asking students to do things that they may have never done before, and they're doing them in an environment that looks different than any classroom they've been in before. So they need to believe they can do it, and they need teachers that they know believe in them. I think it's the base for all of the other pieces. When we talk about other key components of the class, it all crumbles without kids knowing that people are there for them and that they know they can achieve. It's just getting to know your students individually. But I also think belief comes in really allowing student agency and choice around the work that they're doing. That the teacher isn't doing the work for the students, they're doing the work with the students. I think it's human nature that we want to belong, and we want to see that in our classrooms, that when there's a connection between the students, that when they come here, this is their team, and that the teacher's on their team, the students are on their team, and that they really belong. When they're gone, we miss them. When they're here, we're looking to them to share, that they have a role in the community that we're creating. We have a lot of kids just across the country as well that are living through some traumatic situations or having difficult times. And when you miss school and you have to come back for whatever reason, illness, issues, whatever reason they're out of school, kids will tell us that I don't want to go back to that class. And they'll say it because I don't know what's going on, I don't know what we're doing. Belonging is important because we want that community feel. We want them to be able to come back and re-enter into the class. Wherever they're at, they're picked up and they're moving forward. I think another huge thing in the classroom is really representation. We try to do that in a lot of ways, but not just a poster on the wall that shows a diverse group of people doing a project, but really if we're watching a how-to video, trying to ensure that we have a diverse group of people that are showing how-to, or if we're going to listen to a speaker, that we're trying to make sure that we're representing. So there's just a broader view of all the people that are in the workforce. So they can bring in their backgrounds, their whether that's around culture or what their families do or those types of things, that they can bring those things in, and there's a place within the school that's going to recognize we can do those things while we're learning these standards. When we intended broadcasting your voice and what we thought that would mean, we really thought we were going to talk to kids and highlight how they're using their voices out in the community or how they're using their voices in their clubs with other schools. We really didn't see that as a classroom piece. And then every student that we talked to when we were interviewing, and we did surveys and tried to figure out where we're at with this, and almost 100% of the students talked about finding their voice in the classroom. Well, I'm not nervous to speak up in this class. Well, this is what the teacher does to help me, and I can give my ideas. It made all of us pause and realize how many kids struggle to feel that they have a valuable contribution to what's going on, that they're there and it's happening to them, that they're not a part of the decision making. So we really had to relook at that. Of course, we want kids to have the skill and be able to go and talk with the community and do all of these things, but we really needed to look at the classrooms first. It is essential to remove barriers in our skilled trades classrooms because these are real pathways for kids to lead to a future for them and a career for them that can make a difference in their life, can be something that they're interested in and they feel successful in. And if we're putting up roadblocks or we're not addressing the roadblocks that are standing in front of them, then we are taking away from the diversity of opportunities kids have in the world today. We can't assume that we know what all of the barriers are. We don't understand why some students choose to sign up for things and others don't unless we start having these conversations. Being willing to hear it, being willing to confront any implicit bias or any stereotypes, and how we can ease the system for kids that we know are looking for us to help them and believe in them to get to their next step. We started a student advisory council. So we first started it larger for all of the CTE programs, and we learned so much. There are things that we thought we knew that we didn't, and then other things that we had misinterpreted based on, survey responses, but having kids in the room talking. And we've really encouraged our program area teachers to have a student advisory council to help guide what they're doing in class, how people are feeling. I think kids really like that. We have lots of kids signing up. They do it after school, they do it on their own time, but they have a voice in where the class is going. We did some surveys of students, and as part of our student advisory group, we're surveying student groups, and we're asking them periodically all sorts of questions. The other piece too is having teachers feel comfortable with the fact that we're going to get some feedback that sometimes says, this environment didn't feel good to me. And it's not saying that everything they're doing is horrible. It's just, here's some more data for you. You might not have noticed this. Here's some more data. But this student or these students are looking for something different. What could we do to make that work? I think what was important for us was to ground us in some equity work first, to really make sure that everyone that is part of the conversation has a view of what they're trying to achieve and an understanding of the current reality of the environment that you're working in. I think that common understanding is really important. And then moving into, okay, knowing this and knowing these are the things that we think are non-negotiables, then we start problem solving those together. But I think the grounding yourself in some research, grounding yourself in what is going on in the district, the current reality is really important to the process because it creates an urgency to the work. I think the biggest thing that I've learned through my own path, but then also working with kids, is gotta listen to the kids. For instance, when they would look at me and they'd say, well, when am I ever gonna use this math? I could look at that as disrespectful, but really what that is I'm lost. I'm trying to figure out where I'm going. Like, where does this fit into my plan? And once they get turned that way and find that piece, they take off. And often we don't know the things that are in the way. We don't know the things that would make them feel safe and comfortable in the environment. We don't know if we don't ask them. And then be open to hearing what they have to say, because they will be honest.
Thank you for joining us for this incredible opportunity. We wish you all the best.